It is often said that there cannot be meaningful development in an environment devoid of peace. Perhaps that is why residents of Gombe State have witnessed monumental development in the past 7.5 years. But Gombe is right in the middle of the northeast region, an area bedeviled by widespread violence and Boko Haram insurgency. How did Gombe State government, under the leadership of Governor Ibrahim Dankwambo, achieve this? That will be our focus on this episode of Inside the Drill. My name is Nari Adiemi. I bid you welcome. Welcome back. Our focus this week is peace and development in Gombe State. But before we bring you this, let's view some of the major events in Gombe State in the last 1 week. Gombe State Governor Ibrahim Dankwambo swore in 6 new commissioners into the State Executive Council. This follows screening and confirmation of their nomination by the State House of Assembly. The appointments were made necessary following the resignation of some members of the State Executive Council to contest for elective offices. Governor Dankwambo charged the new appointees to focus on giving their best in service to the people within the short time left in his administration.
This administration has only 5 months left to complete its tenure. I therefore call on the new commissioners to bring their wealth of experience and proven integrity to bear in discharge of their duties so as to impact positively on the development of the state. I enjoin you to always work harmoniously with your permanent secretaries, directors, and the entire members of the staff of your various ministries to ensure implementation of government policies and programs.
We wish to assure you that from the bottom of our own heart, we are extremely grateful that we will be transparent to your honest and loyal to your administration, that we will hit the ground running so that we can chip in our little bit in our effort to sustain and to maintain the tremendous and humongous achievements that you have attained.
Maybe it was the crowd or the banners. Perhaps it's the backing of political heavyweights or his personal pedigree. The former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives is very confident of victory. The state governor, who is contesting for a Senate seat, and other party leaders are asking voters in Gombe to assess the PDP's performance in the state and choose visible results over promises.
We've come to launch our campaign. The North, the South, the East, the West, and the heavens have backed us up to support our candidate.
The PDP is a dominant political party in Gombe State, having ruled the state without a break for 16 years. It strategically launched its campaign in Kaltungo town, the same place the APC flagged off its own. Gombe State is no stranger to election-related violence. Each election cycle has witnessed its own brand of violence and insecurity. The 2011 and 2015 elections were particularly difficult.
As well as other representatives.
This peace accord, organized by the Independent National Electoral Commission and the heads of security agencies, is aimed at preventing a repeat of these ugly experiences.
Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. We are here today not to force on accord, but understand with one another the importance of peace in our separate and collective efforts to build a prosperous Gombe State.
Signing the agreement is one thing. Keeping to the faith of the agreement is entirely in our heart, is entirely in our mind. We must agree among ourselves that we are citizens of Gombe State first, and this state is far above any one of us.
30 candidates signed the Peace Pact. They call for equity and neutrality from the Electoral Commission and security agencies.
Whenever you are talking about peace, there must be justice. If there is no justice, the peace we are talking about will not be there.
We must go in peace, because without peace, you cannot have a peaceful election, and without a peaceful election, there will be no credible election that will be acceptable to all of us.
Although there are no punitive measures attached to violating the terms of the agreement, organizers say it places a moral burden on the political gladiators to play according to the rules of the game. For almost 46 years, the National Youth Service Corps has been at the forefront of national unity and youth mobilization. The Corps has continuously been saddled with executing major national assignments, which includes participating in the conduct of elections. The Corps is designing new ways to strengthen its processes and provide better security for young people under its purview. Regular biometrics clearance and real-time data monitoring.
We have an integrated system, the NYC portal. Everything concerning the Corps member is on that portal. And the Corps members have access to their dashboard. If they have any challenge, all they need to do is to send a message through their dashboard and attention will be given. And whatever information we need to pass across to them, we do that through their dashboard.
The forthcoming election too, we are not open less. Corps members are still going to perform wonders, as the training has been that the scheme should be apolitical, and that stance we are going to maintain in the forthcoming election.
Corps members, who are the primary beneficiaries, support the innovations, and with the coming general elections, they are confident that it would enhance their safety.
Knowing where they are at a particular time helps to keep them more secured. I believe the management will do as much as possible to keep the Corps members secured, and if they have the info as to where each Corps member is located at a particular time, it will give them an edge to protect such a Corps member properly.
I'm not worried about my safety. I know I'm safe. Gombe is safe, so I'm safe. I'm trusting my government and I'm trusting NYSC.
The NYSC was established in 1973. Many parents and participants in the scheme say they support any innovation that ensures better monitoring and security for Corps members deployed around Nigeria. Welcome back. You're still watching Inside the Drill. Today we'll beam our spotlight on peace and security in Gombe State and how Governor Ibrahim Dankwambo has been able to achieve both regardless of daunting challenges.
One notable aspect of Gombe State is the peaceful atmosphere and serene nature of the environment. From the state capital, Gombe, to all the towns and villages, peace reigns supreme in this jewel in the savannah. However, the feat did not come by chance or accident. It was achieved through deliberate policies and interventions to ensure that Gombe does not suffer the pang of insurgency plaguing the northeast.
We are in the northeast, and being in the northeast, we are also open to all the problems that is going on or that went on in the northeast. So the government plus the security operatives in the state decided to put heads together and find a way of minimizing or even reducing this thing to the extent that people now think that Gombe State is almost free of all these problems. And it is true. I think for the past 3, 4 or so years, we've not had this sort of thing.
At the peak of the Boko Haram insurgency in the region, Gombe State also shared in some of the calamities visited on the area by the terrorists.
Gombe State had its own share of all these problems that we are talking about. We had bombs in the markets, bombings in the market, we are bombing in the parks, we are bombings in the police stations and so many other places. So like a responsible government, the government decided to sit down and see whether there was something that it could do in order to put an end to these things.
The state governor Ibrahim Hassan Dankwambo decided to take the bull by the horns by thinking out of the box to insulate a state from the violence.
What happened is that we applied so many things, the modern security installments and all other notes. But above all, the government decided to go into a very, very good understanding with the security operators. In other words, they made them to operate in accordance with the laws and in accordance with the capacities they could. And that is by providing them the necessary equipment that they needed in order to control all these things. All these things put together, I think, made Gombe what it is today. Not that we don't have our own share of problems now, but gradually we are getting to an end that we are putting these things over when you compare it to so many other states.
Gombe State will continue to remain peaceful because the state government understands the synergy between the security services. And whenever there is an issue, the state government is on top of the situation because we are adequately briefed. So we take proactive measures to stem any untoward behavior which may manifest as a result of these activities of the Boko Haram. That's why we are very, very peaceful.
Ibrahim Hassan Dankwambo is somebody who is cherished by the people of Gombe State. He always consults. You understand? And that is why you see that despite the insurgency, since he assumed office, there is relative peace in Gombe. There is no any state that is as peaceful as Gombe. Not only in the northeast, but if you look at the country, you can hardly find that.
Such effective collaboration between the state government and security agencies has resulted in the relative peace being enjoyed by people of Gombe State. Another security challenge faced by the state in times past was the scourge of Yankalari, a form of hooliganism spearheaded by thugs.
The government inherited a kind of problem created somehow either willingly or maybe by circumstances. A situation where the youths of the states were really haywire. There was this problem of this word in Hausa, the Kalari. And the Kalari per se means, it's a kind of a kind of a gang kind of thing, where they will meet different fora and then fight each other, kill each other. But it didn't even stop at that. It went to a situation that people, the local people along the street in the nights, in the dark corners, are being stopped, robbed, and so many things happening. You wake up in the morning, you find 2, 3 people dead somewhere else. When you look into what really took place, you discover that it is this Kalari.
Their tales of destruction and intimidation spread like wildfire in dry forest until government put a stop to the menace. Governor Dankwambo adopted various approaches to check the violence perpetrated by the gang through one key area: youth empowerment.
So the government thought something has to be done about it, and what was it that could send them away from this type of thoughts and these types of acts? So the question was just answered instantly, and that is engage them somehow. So how do we engage them? Bring them together, train them in particular areas, give them something to do so that this issue of an idle mind is no more there. And that is precisely what we did. And immediately that thing took place, we discovered that it was really working. So we expanded it to many areas. We utilized them on the street, we utilized them in the hospital, we utilized them in schools, we utilized them in so many places. So a young man will wake up in the morning and has the feeling that he has something to do. So those ideas of going somewhere to go and fight is no more there. And certainly this still worked and is still working.
Most of this problem of Kalari occurred as a result of our lack of, sometimes we can say lack of an opportunity for those boys to, go to school and, have qualified educational background, because of maybe some are lacking the parental support, because the parents are, most of their parents are financially incapable to take care of the education of their younger ones. So as a result, they keep on indulging themselves in all sorts of social vices. But with introduction of the Ministry of Youth Empowerment and introduction of tertiary institutions, at least even if someone does not have qualification to go to university and acquire university degree, at least they can be trained and managed in one way or the other, either through the provision of training so that they can be self-employed and self-reliant and self-independent by giving them empowerment training.
These are some of the products of the deradicalization and rehabilitation program of the state government, aimed at making the youth productive and responsible. They are called the Gombe Marshals.
From 1999 to 2011, if you look at Gombe, there were so many problems. Social venoms, security problems, the Ankarares. Everybody will remember this. But you see, when he came, he used his wisdom and empowered the youth. He created the Gombe State Marshals. And I can tell you now there are about 10,000 that are serving there. They have all been reformed. They were trained in Jos, Malan City by the military. They were redirected. They were given a reorientation. And most of them, some of them have even left the marshal. They have started doing their own businesses. So one of the most important legacy of Ibrahim Hassan Angombo is the maintenance and provision of peace and security in Gombe State.
In this scheme, the youths are trained in various aspects which will enable them assist governments in maintaining law and order in the state.
Before, I am Kalari boys. and political dog. And I want to thank Almighty Allah and also thank Governor Ibrahim Hassan Ombu for the opportunity given to us. It's really touched our life. Now, according to the opportunity given to us, and most of us we study, and most of us we get married, and most of us we build our own house.
I thank God for the gift, for the wisdom that God gives to Governor Ankombo to create this program. I have achieved so many good things in my life. The thing that I think that I will not achieve in my life, but this program makes me to achieve it. Now I am schooling in Federal College of Education. It's because of I am in the system of the Marshal.
They are grouped into traffic, education, environmental and security marshals.
We will embark on at least sensitization, we will embark on enlightenment, we will bring them closer to us, show them, yeah, you can have a marshal that feed his parent, his father, his mother, his children. Where are they before? They don't get the same until they went and do something horrible, something that security will put them on the wanted list. So actually, if there is anything the government that is coming, trying to do without Marshal, I beg you and I challenge you, come back to Gombe after 1 year. Anybody who decides to do government without Marshal is going to have a failed government, because we will never have a security in this state. And when you don't have security in this state, where can you get development? So I'm telling you, Marshal must be sustained for the interest and benefit of Gombe.
The state has also organized a series of capacity building programs for the youths.
Looking at the present Gombe state, you can bear witness that our youth that are indulged in all these social vices like Kalari and the rest, you hardly see them on the street now, because most of them have gotten one thing or the other to do. Some are being given training, are being empowered through the Ministry of Youth Empowerment and provision of employment opportunities for those that cannot further their educations. Those that have capacity to further their education have been given an opportunity through empowering the educational sector by giving them an opportunity to go and further their education. That is what necessitated the establishment of all these new institutions across the state.
Some of them have also been empowered and trained in various skills through the Talba Empowerment Scheme.
Engaging them in all this traffic work or all this kind of road, what we call health marshal, school marshal, so that they can take care of our buildings in the schools, our hospitals. And for those that we believe have a little knowledge, those that if given an opportunity and training, they can be of good character. So those ones are being taken away from the street, and we are taking to all these new institutions to further their education, like the establishment of the Polytechnic. If you go to Bojuga, there are so many courses which consist of all these artisan courses which we are lagging behind. You know, so most of these youths were taken off the streets and were given admission to either at the end of the day they will either be given certificate or diploma. At least that will, you know, make them to be people of to be a responsible individuals in society, and at least they can also contribute their quota to the development of the state. Okay. So you see, these are the two policies the governor was able to establish. So that, and that is why today you can move freely in the state. I think he is leaving a legacy that we hope any incoming government, you know, will imbibe, because his interest is Gombe always. He will always call on people, don't go and destroy anything. If you destroy it today, if you destroy a school, you will never have it more, because there is no money. You have to work hard now to get money to build a single school.
To ensure that this tempo of peace reigning in Gombe State is sustained, more enlightenment campaigns are ongoing to keep the youths off crimes and other social vices.
That's the much we can bring you on this episode of Inside the Drill, the program where we share with you stories about development in Gombe State. Do join us again next week for another episode. You can also interact with us through our social media platforms. Till we see you again next week, my name is Lanre Adeyemi. Goodbye.